someone asked me who would invite to a dinner party, my first response would be Queen Elizabeth I of England. She was the most influential person of her day, as she is today. I want to enlighten you and hopefully inspire you about a person who brought her country from rags to riches. I'm going to cover her early years, her struggle to the throne, and her accomplishments during her reign. Elizabeth I was the daughter of Henry VIII of England and Anne Boleyn, Henry's second wife. She was born on September 7, 1533 in Greenwich, States Cawthorne. Anne Boleyn was expected to give birth to a male heir, but to Henry VIII's disappointment, they had Elizabeth. ElizabethI.org. Frustrated and disappointed, Henry VIII sent his second wife to be beheaded on false grounds that she committed incest with her brother and was unfaithful. She was 2 years old when Elizabeth died, according to ElizabethI.org. Elizabeth was given an excellent education and excelled at her studies. She became quite the linguist when she learned French, Italian, Latin, and Greek, and of course, English, states Perry, Skoll, Davis, Harris, and Van Loo. Elizabeth had an older half-sister, Mary I, who was the daughter of Catherine of Aragon and Henry VIII's first wife. She also had a younger brother, Edward VI, who was the son of Henry VIII's third wife, Jane Seymour, who died 20 days after giving birth to Edward, maintains Cawthorne. Although Elizabeth was Protestant, she was well versed in Catholicism to appease her sister Mary, who was a devout Catholic. Elizabeth's life was very uneasy and difficult, but in January 1547, when Henry VIII died, her life became in danger. Elizabeth's name was dragged into many plots against Henry VI, then Mary I. Edward Seymour tried to marry Elizabeth, which was against the law in those days to not have the consent of the king. However, she was found innocent. Elizabeth's life came very close to an end when Mary I's advisors tried to convince Elizabeth to be beheaded, or rather executed, according to ElizabethI.org. She was the threat because she was Protestant and because Elizabeth's name was linked to Thomas Wyatt's rebellion to overthrow Mary I. ElizabethI.org states that during her reign, Elizabeth made the Church of England and Protestantism the official religion of England. Elizabeth I succeeded Mary I on November 17, 1558, at 25 years old, reigning over England and Ireland, states Cawthorne and ElizabethI.org. Elizabeth I's love of music, art, exploration, and literature expanded during her reign was also encouraged by her. When Elizabeth I became queen, many plots began to overthrow her, states Cawthorne. Cawthorne also states that Elizabeth's cousin, Mary Queen of Scots, a Catholic, was linked to many plots to replace Elizabeth on the throne. Elizabeth's advisors finally convinced Elizabeth to send Mary Queen of Scots to execution and was beheaded in 1587 after almost 20 years in a castle prison, according to Cawthorne and ElizabethI.org. Elizabeth I never married, and this made her early years as queen very unsteady. She did, however, have many proposals from monarchs all over England as well as within all of Europe, according to Cawthorne. This gave her the nickname the Virgin Queen. However, Elizabeth I had many suitors and possibly not a virgin. Her favorite and most famous are Lord Robert Dudley, Earl of Lancaster, and Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, as said by Cawthorne. Elizabeth's most successful ordeal came when Philip II of Spain, Mary I's husband, tried to overtake England and make it Catholic in the Spanish Armada in 1588, Harriet and Cawthorne state. Elizabeth never bore an heir and named James VI of Scotland and Mary Queen of Scots' son as her successor. Elizabeth died on March 23, 1603, after 45 years of reigning. State Hawthorne and Perry. Elizabeth came to a throne with a country that was divided by religion, bankrupt, and very weak. She made England into the most powerful, richest, and peaceful country during her reign, which also became known as the Golden Age. Nigel Cawthorne in 2009 wrote The Kings and Queens of England from the Saxon Kings to the House of Windsor from Boston, Massachusetts in Metro Books. Harry Skoll, Davis, Harris, and Van Loo wrote in 1992 the book History of the World, Teacher's Annotated Edition in Boston, Massachusetts by Houghton Mifflin Company. Heather Thomas, on June 9, 2010, wrote Elizabeth biography, which I retrieved on June 28, 2010 from the website http://www.elizabeththefirst.org/us/biography.html. Thank you.